Many South Africans have the status of saying, yeah, Africa over there, making it seem as though they're on some kind of different continent. And I think it really is attributed to the fact that when it comes to our history, you only ever get to knowing about African history in university, and that's also if you choose a history elective. So hi, my name is Vilo. I am from South Africa and I am currently doing my Masters in African Studies here at the University of Ghana.
Why University of Ghana?
So a number of reasons. Before I came here, I was working in an organization, the Graça Machel Trust, and they do a lot of work across the continent, focusing on women and children's rights. And in the work I was doing, I was realizing that the things that I had learned in my undergraduate, which was at Wits University, many of the theories didn't always, translate to what was happening on the African continent on the ground, like so day-to-day realities. That's the first thing. I'm also a Pan-Africanist. So I've done, a lot of work in terms of trying to just create robust conversations about what it means to be African.
Right.
How do we, create Pan-Africanism for our generation? And then also, Ghana is a custodian of a lot of African history. So,
That's right.
if you want to know almost anything about the continent, Ghana is normally the best place to come, especially since it was the first to be independent.
Right.
And then, finally, I wanted to do a master's where it could, just also impact my life beyond just giving me a piece of paper. I wanted to be able to have, an experience, a cultural experience that would really allow me to just learn more, be immersed with the people, and just really change my life.
Are you liking it in Ghana?
I'm liking it so far. I've been here for about 8 weeks. I'm gonna be here for a year, possibly 2 years if I do my MPhil, but so far loving it.
So good. Yeah. How different is the educational system here in Ghana to that of South Africa?
So we've only started this week, so I don't know if I've got a lot of a lot of information first to do the similarities and differences. But one thing I will definitely say, just the technological advancements. One thing I realized back home, you hardly ever have issues about internet and it being slow or anything like that. Also just the infrastructure is very different in terms of in the library.
Right.
You can take out a book, there's a system whereby if the book is not returned in a certain number of days, you get a fine, and it creates that culture of you being able to get the book back to the library. I noticed
I think it's the same here too.
I've actually learned that you can't take out books in the library.
Which library?
BAM library.
You can actually take some books from there.
Is it? Or maybe it's because I was by the African Studies section, so they were in this section you can't take out books. Yeah, so maybe they. So from then I was okay, this is new. But I was okay, it's fine. It's all right. What else? But I think also in terms of teaching styles, it's very much the same as well.
Okay.
Also for graduates, there's more discussions, dialogues, presentations, very similar to what we also do at home. And then I just guess maybe another thing that could be different is the literature, right? So even though back home in South Africa we do have literature that's focused more on Africa, depending on the institution that you go, my institution is very research intensive. So what they try to do is to produce research that can be competitively global.
Globally competitive.
Yes.
It's the same.
Yeah, it's the same. Yeah. So whereas here it's not only just looking at is your work going to be competitive globally, it's also looking at how are you going to influence maybe the culture, institutions,
policymakers,
society's policy, which I also found to be very interesting. So the approach to literature has been interesting in that. So those are the ones.
Tell me about Ghana. Do you like it here?
I do. Ghanaians, guys are very nice and kind.
Of course.
It really reminds me of my mother's home country. So she's from Eswatini. and they're also very kind people. I've also been enjoying the local food.
Right.
So far, I think I've had banku, I've had kenke, and I actually surprisingly didn't like fufu.
Why? You should try it again.
Everyone keeps on saying that, so I'm definitely going to keep on
yeah.
trying it, because people are saying that you'll get used to it eventually. And someone also told me that it depends on who makes it.
That's right.
So if you get,
you shouldn't opt for the hard ones.
Yeah,
get soft fufu.
Yeah, so soft fufu. So I'm definitely keeping my eyes open for that. But yeah, also we've got a lot of like similarities in food. So what you guys call as bofrot, I think.
Yeah, bofrot.
Yeah, bofrot. We call it magwenya.
Okay.
We just don't put sugar.
Okay.
And then we eat it with
is it fried? Deep fried?
Yeah, it's also deep fried, but we eat it with something called acha.
Okay.
And then you can also add in cheese. You can add in different kind of polonies, stockfish, as well as mincemeat as well. So normally people will have that for breakfast. And yeah, so today I'm hoping I can taste Ghanaian beans. So that's what
I see.
Menu.
Would you say more South Africans should come to Ghana?
Yes, I really would. I think that's definitely one thing I want to try and encourage from this year and the years moving onwards. I think a lot of South Africans unfortunately don't travel outside of the country that much, and so I'm hoping that my own experience and wherever really I'll go, maybe I'll go back home, maybe I'll go to another African country, I don't know, but whatever my experience is, I'm hoping that it will encourage others to really see that there's so much to see in our continent. It has so much to offer, and you have to experience it.
I heard from somewhere that South Africans look down on Black Africans. How true is that?
Yeah, so we do have an issue of xenophobia. So that is a very serious reality, and I think there's a number of factors that contribute to it. There's an unfortunate, I don't know if I should say stereotype or narrative, rather. There's an unfortunate narrative that many have put forward, which basically is that many who are foreigners of a specific ethnic grouping are criminals as well, which is unfortunate in that, yes, some criminals are, foreigners, but it's not all the criminals who are foreigners. I think in every country they've got their own foreigners as well, or they've got their own criminals, so that, as well as I think a lack of education on the continent.
That's right.
Many South Africans have the tendency of saying, yeah, Africa over there, making it seem as though they're on some kind of different continent. And I think it really is attributed to the fact that when it comes to our history, you only ever get to knowing about African history in university, and that's also if you choose a history elective. If not, and if you don't take your own incentive, you hardly will know anything about African history. And I also think our presidents as well, so our leaders, the last leader we had who was very intentional about African unity was Thabo Mbeki and Nelson Mandela. They were very deliberate about ensuring that South Africans play an active role, in African politics and vice versa. Also Cyril, he's involved with the African Union, but he really doesn't educate a great deal about our continent, and just its own important role that it's played to us, especially in our liberation to come out of apartheid. I think that's just some of the factors, not all, but some of them that explain this.
Thank you so much for your time.
All right.
I hope you enjoy your time in Ghana.
Thank you.
To the max. And you're able to encourage more South Africans to visit our country.
Definitely will.
Yeah.
I will be an ambassador.
That's right.
Guys, if you are watching this video, I hope you enjoyed it. Please do like, subscribe, share, hit the notification button so that you are notified whenever a video comes out. And also follow Nancy on Instagram and Facebook, because she's amazing.